Hey, so the project that we're tackling now, and I'm going to make a series of videos about this because people have asked me to bring them through the journey, is we're going to take this greenhouse, which you can see here, plastic roof, shitty shingles. We're going to take this greenhouse and we're actually going to try to make it into something that me and my family will actually use. With a greenhouse like this, the challenge is that with being a working family, children that are young, etc., the maintenance of a greenhouse is going to be very hard to do. A couple of the things with regards to the greenhouse is the management of temperature, the management of humidity and watering. And that's kind of two of the core things that we're going to have to deal with. So let's kind of go inside and see what that looks like. All right, so we're stepping into the greenhouse now. As you can see, it's very much a storage place right now. We have a sink sitting there with no connection. There is a lot of opening kind of on both sides. You can see that there's dirt down there, as well as this large table and light. The greenhouse does have vents. You can see here's one vent here, which is kind of taped shut at this moment, and a second vent here. In terms of other ventilation, and we're kind of going into the more building side of the greenhouse, we can see right here there is a chimney that is going up to the roof. The chimney does have currently blocked to prevent birds and animals from getting in. So there's one opening right here and a second opening right here. What I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this area right here. I'm going to find a way to use the rain barrel that was left by the previous owners here to gather the water that's coming from the gutter of the main building, and through a humidity sensor be able to actually determine what the soil humidity is. And I'm going to put these two areas on the sides into actually being usable for gardening. Run irrigation through them that is connected to that rain barrel right there, and then be able to put on a solenoid valve or something that I can use to control water going into the soil when I receive notifications that the water soil temperature is, well, the water soil density needs to be solved. In terms of ventilation, I have the vents. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to open those up. But what I do also have is the large vent kind of within that chimney there. So if I can take this chimney and make it so that I can remotely turn on and off the vent, it would be ideal that I can then use that to pull air through the vents in the roof, pull it out through this chimney here, and then push it back out. So I can kind of get a bit of a circulation and a breeze here. I don't want to necessarily leave the vents open without a screen, but that is something we can deal with. Also, this is not glass. This is plexiglass. The original building actually was, and you can see it here behind the tools, was these glass sheets. So we've actually been able to get something that is a bit easier to maintain, but you can probably see above me, it is not clean right now. So that's something that we're also going to have to deal with. All right, so coming from that section right there, we are entering into this definitely darker section. So we're going to have to do some roof replacement here. You can see we have a bunch of water damage. Also, there's some things that I just don't find are the safest. Now, this is my favorite. Watch this fan right here. Let me turn on. This is the splitting metal blades of death, and you can see it is just swinging right there. That is completely unprotected and exposed, so that's going to be fun. In addition, in this greenhouse, you can see that we have a lot of shelving that's kind of along the side. I'm going to figure out what we can do with regards to that. We also do have a secondary water source here. This is a pump. You can see it going into the ground. I would like to get that working. Ideally, if I can figure out a way to get this working, this is a possibility of using for irrigation other than the rain barrel, but we'll need to figure that part out. Taking a look at the exterior of the greenhouse, you can see that is not in very good shape up there. Those are not very good condition shingles, so we will have to see about figuring that out. We also do have some damage where a tree actually fell in parts, so we'll have to resolve that as well. All right, so that's kind of a bit about what the current state is now, what the plan is. So what we're gonna do next is going to draft this up, highlight the different kind of possible things that we'll need, order them, and wait for them to arrive. In the meantime, we do need to take that ceiling out, and we do need to kind of look at the shingle situation. I do want to first figure out what we're going from an irrigation standpoint, because if we're going to be using the rain barrels, then I may want to unify these two gutters on this side and the one on the other side to collect the water. But I also need to think about what that's going to be with the new shingles in place, because I don't want that residue and I don't want that tar going into my irrigation systems. All right, well, hopefully this will be a fun project, and I'll keep you all posted.